shadows of the stadium.
Legends awaken!
Welcome to Broncos Unchained. I am your host, the one they call Boss Man Jay. Before we get started today, I want to give our special thoughts and prayers out to friends of ours who just recently lost their baby. And I, obviously for privacy reasons, will leave their names out. But I hope you all keep them in your thoughts and prayers as well. Now, everybody's asking the same damn thing. Can J.K. Dobbins stay healthy? Or is it just a countdown to when he's out for the season again? But here's what nobody's asking. What if he actually does stay healthy? What if, for the first time in his career, he actually has everything built around him to keep him on the field? That's what we're diving into today. Now, of course, everybody's heard J.K. Dobbins' injury history, which goes back quite a few years. But he did not have the strength and conditioning team that's in Denver. Here's in Baltimore, him running wild through the Cincinnati Bengals line and down the field for a 72-yard touchdown run. But just like L.A., he was the only running back, and they used him too much, and he was, yes, indeed, a workhorse, but by December, he had been run into the ground. Now, in L.A., after a serious injury in Baltimore, he came back, and he played again like he had never skipped a beat. He came back, he burst through lines, dove for end zones, and had the same enthusiastic tendencies that he had from the beginning of his career. So what does this all mean? This all means that now we put him in Denver, where we take him from Bo Lowry, who has the number one strength and conditioning team and behind him in the league. He has an O-line that was ranked number one in pass block win rate and number one in run block win rate last year. And he also has an RB2 in R.J. Harvey, who's he's a bolt of lightning. He's lightning in a bottle, and that will take a lot of the load off of J.K. Dobbins. Now, let's flip back in time and compare J.K. Dobbins to the one and only Terrell Davis, number 30, All-Pro. Now, Davis got his career started with this one hit. He had trouble in the combine. He was almost overlooked completely until one game in Tokyo where he annihilated the San Francisco 49ers returner. And after the play, Mike Shanahan said, "You are my RB1." After that, Mike Shanahan's zone scheme offense was a perfect setup for Terrell Davis's running. Now, if you look at J.K. Dobbins and Terrell Davis, they are similar in size. Terrell Davis was 5'11", 210 pounds, and J.K. Dobbins is 5'10" and 210 pounds. So they're very similar, and they both have great vision, great cut ability, and great burst. They also are elite runners and incredible at breaking tackles. So imagine if you take all this right here and you put J.K. Dobbins behind that line. You're looking at not Terrell Davis numbers, but probably a 1,700-yard season easy. Terrell Davis had that ability to just break through tackles, find the end zone like nobody else. So now, let's flip it around and look at if Terrell Davis was running in Sean Payton's scheme, which was a lot more play action, zone offense, misreads, and he would have had probably Christian McCaffrey type numbers. So we're looking at a Hall of Famer versus somebody that is well overlooked because of his injury history. Now, by the end of 1998, Terrell Davis had made a name for himself, took the Broncos to the Super Bowl. In the Super Bowl, he scored 3 touchdowns, even though Gilbert Brown, who's a very big guy, stepped on him at one point. He stayed in the game, toughed it out, and after 3 touchdowns, became the Super Bowl MVP. Now, on his way to the Super Bowl, this run right here was what put him over what mark how only 4 people in history had done at that point, and that is 2,000 yards. He ended the season with 2,008 yards and forever was known in Broncos history as the greatest runner they've ever had. Now, you do have to compare him to J.K. Dobbins and what J.K. Dobbins could do, but we don't know yet if he'll be able to do what Terrell Davis did back then, and that's help the Broncos hoist the Lombardi Trophy. So, let's look at the side-by-side stats. Yards per carry in 2020, J.K. Dobbins ran 6.0 yards per carry. Terrell Davis in 1998 was at 5.1 yards per carry. Total TDs, J.K. Dobbins only had 9, Terrell Davis had 23. But the offensive line is where the difference really made, where there was really a difference. J.K. Dobbins had a bottom 10 offensive line, and Terrell Davis had a top tier, thanks to Mike Shanahan. The offensive scheme that J.K. Dobbins ran behind back then was called a Roman or power read scheme, and Shanahan's zone stretch scheme was made a lot more for backs like J.K. Dobbins and Terrell Davis. One played 15 games, the other played 16. The play action difference was obviously a lot different, but the health support was real different. So enough already with the if he stays healthy talk. J.K. Dobbins finally has exactly what he's needed his whole career. A smart head coach, an elite offensive line, real running back support, and a medical team that's top in the league. The only question now isn't if he'll last, it's how far he'll take us. This has been Broncos Unchained, and J.K. Dobbins, he's off the leash.